All right, Blue Jay fans, we are here live at Cape Central High School uh, with the second half of the JV game getting started. And I'll turn it over to the game. All right, we are. It's 30-27 with 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. As Cape just nails a three and make it 33-27 for the Cape Central Tigers. Starting a little late tonight. We had a little automotive issue, but we are good to go now. And hope that you guys get to enjoy your broadcast tonight. And I'll fix that camera in just a second. All right, sorry about that. Should be good to go, I think, now. As Blue Jays bring the ball up the court. We will be joined here in a minute by Mr. Tim Eskew of the Holcomb Eskies, or the, I'm sorry. 35-27, Tigers with the layup. Brian Vazzi brings the ball back down the court for the Blue Jays. Going to be a reach-in on 23 for the Cape Tigers. It's going to be his fourth foul. It's their second all-around. Thank you for joining us here tonight on this February 12th as we wind down this regular season with the Charleston Blue Jays. Comment, say hello. We'll give you a shout-out. Blue Jays set with their offense. Bledsoe with the ball. Could have had the shot. Passed it off T.J. Williams. T.J. Williams with the layup and missed the layup. Got fouled in the process. Foul on the floor. That's Ford's fifth team foul for the Cape Tigers. The fourth. Still 35-27. Bledsoe with the ball, driving to the hoop, passes back to Williams. Williams for three, off the mark. Not known for his three-point prowess, but E.K. Davis with a rebound and the putback for the N1. As I said, if you want to let us have a comment, and we will give you a shout out. E.K. Davis making the old-fashioned three-pointer. Heading back down the court is 35-30 with Cape Central still in the lead. Cape Central with the ball. Trying to find a mode inside. Pass to hit the net. Got it to their post player, number 20. Couldn't get the shot to go. E.K. Davis with the rebound. Gives it to Swab. Swab makes the layup and puts the Blue Jays still down by three at 35-32 with 2:24 here to go. And they get the net fixed as they have a play stoppage there. This is our second to last regular season game. The Blue Jays will finish up the regular season Thursday night at home with Poplar Bluff. As they start districts on Saturday, they will be playing at 10, and I think our girls play that evening. It'll be Blue Jays ball with 2:14 left, 35-32 Tigers. As they're doing the full press as they launch it to T.J. Williams. T.J. Williams going up for the layup and the foul, and he is fouled. Not sure what Cape Central's trying to do here in the third quarter, playing this press, full court press, it seems like. I could be wrong with the name, but they are leaving it open for Blue Jays just to make these full court passes and lead to the layup. Williams misses the first. This is the second. Schwab gets a rebound. Misses a shot. And Williams on a loose ball foul.
Foul trouble for TJ Williams, his fourth, team second.
Ball goes back to Cape Central on 35-32 with 2:08 left here in the third quarter. This is the JV game. We are glad you can join us tonight. On the court is Swab Fitzpatrick, Brian Weiser, TJ Williams, E.K. Davis, and Benjamin Bledsoe. Cape Central got the turnover, but Brian Weiser picks it up. Going down, swatting at everything. It is going to be Blue Jays ball. They are diving after everything here tonight. As Latrell Scott comes back in the game. Otherwise known as Crunchy. Brian Weiser setting up the offense. Passes to Crunchy down low. Passes it back to Swall for he's at the three-point line looking for EK. Passes it back to Brian. Passes back to Swall. Swall for three. That's good. 35-35. Minute 20 to go here in the third period. Pass in the corner to Cape Central number 5, going to the lane. Tried passing it, turned it over. They pass in the corner to Cape Central number 5, going to the lane. Tried passing it, turned it over. Latrell Scott with the ball, and about slowing number 5 to the ground. Number 5 got about thrown to on his back. The simple fact that Latrell outweighed him by a good 100 pounds of muscle. As he was fouled, he gets the shot. He gets 1-1. The score's tied, 35-35 with a minute 11 to go.
Down the line number 5, David Edwards, third, team seventh. On the line number 52, Latrell Scott.
Makes the first one, it's 36-35. He makes both of them. It's 37-35, Blue Jays. Cape Central trying to get a shot. 21 with the shot. It's blocked by Bledsoe. They call a loose ball foul on Latrell Scott. It'll be on the floor. Well, no, he'll get 2 shots. 21 will go 2 shots.
Latrell Scott goes first, team third. On the line with Rogers for 21, James Hamilton.
Makes the first one, it's 37-36. Nails the second one, it's tie ball game. Get the ball to Schwab. Schwab going to Latrell Scott. Does the fake. Gets blocked. Schwab gets a rebound. Misses a shot, but it's fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line for 2.
Fellow Tigers over 0, PJ Duncan, his second teammate. On the line for Charleston, Swab Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick hits the first of his 2 free throws. Nails the second one, makes it a 2-point lead with 39-37 with 38.3 left to go here in the third quarter. Tigers bring the ball to court. Tigers turn the ball over. Blue Jays get on fast break. Slow down a little bit, but Weiser with the shot and the foul. They're just hacking these Blue Jays this evening. See if we can get some names for you for these Cape Central Tigers.
The line for Bluejays for 30, Brian Dyson.
Advisor hits the, misses the first one. Makes the second one, makes it a 3-point lead with 21 seconds here to go in the third quarter. Turns the ball over again, pass it to Swab. Swab going for the layup and is fouled hard, but gets up as he goes in the line to shoot two with 10 seconds to go. Not really understanding the play style here of Cape Central in this third quarter. They're acting like it's the end-all, be-all of games, but they are they're trying to keep it alive. But they send Swap Fitzpatrick on the line to shoot two. Makes the first, makes it a 4-point lead. Missed the second one. .25 with the shot. It's for three. Missed it at the buzzer. And that was Tyrone Huff with the missed shot. With Charleston leading 41-37 going here into the fourth quarter of this JV game. We will take a break. We'll be right back. As I said, we're back. As I said earlier, if you want to leave a comment, say hello to somebody, you want to say hello to somebody here at home, if you're far away tonight and not in the Charleston Seymour area, we'd like to hear from you, and we'll give you a shout out as we get ready to start this fourth quarter of this JV game. It's 41-37, Charleston with the lead. All right, welcome back. I want to say hello to the people out there viewing tonight. We appreciate you coming on Facebook or on YouTube. And we're very appreciative. We got this new sound equipment, and hopefully we'll be bringing you some good district games coming up too. We will not be broadcast. We'll be streaming the first round of districts all day long Saturday, but we will not be doing play-by-play. We'll be doing play-by-play of the semifinals and championship games. Regardless if it's the Bluejays or not. 25 with the shot for the Cape Central Tigers. Nails it, makes it 41-39. Bluejays still with the lead. Bluejays coming back up with Brian Visor directing the ball. Visor organizing the offense. Pass to Latrell Scott. Scott throws it away. Bryzer gets the steal. Pass to Bledsoe. Bledsoe with the shot, and it's off its mark. Back in, Latrell Scott gets this takeaway. And the one. The and one. Makes the layup and goes to the line to shoot one. Tell you what, he's been turning his game up here the past week or so. Showing his strength down low has been a big part of it. I want to say hello out there to everybody. There's Latrell Scott, and this is the free throw. Still 43-39 lead with 5:58 to go here in the fourth. As Cape Central's Tyrone Huff gets fouled, he will go to the line to shoot two.
All right. 41-43. Cape Central with the steal. He nailed both his free throws. Oh, they call a blocking foul on Swab Fitzpatrick. Tell you what, these kids lay their bodies out on this all night long. They play with such heart. Both sides of the ball. The Blue Jays, they're falling all over the place. The Cape Central Tigers are going all over the place. They're not afraid to get hurt. All right, 41-43, 5:50 to go. Blue Jays trying to steal the inbound pass, and it's a foul on Beiser on number 23, Darian Triplett. Inbound play. Almost walked. 0-0 makes the shot. Zach Moore. No, TJ Thornton. I'm sorry. Pruitt coming up the side with the ball looking for Swab. Swab looking to kind of direct things. Pass to the Pruitt. Pruitt with the pass to Ike. Ike with the shot. Ike with his own rebound. Gets fouled. Didn't count the shot. It was on the floor. Not sure how that worked out. Should be interesting to see how this one plays out. It's a close game, tied 43-43 right now, 5:26 left to go. I want to say hello to everybody out there. Just type a little message if you feel like it. If not, over. We will be joined by Tim Eskew here at the start of the varsity game as we plan on broadcasting, doing play-by-play. He'll be the color commentator. Tim is a former coach, basketball. E.K. Davis misses the shot, but Brian Beiser gets the steal and the shot, and I think they called, they didn't call a charge, they call a foul on 25, Tyrone Huff. As Brian Beiser goes to the line to shoot two. Brian Beiser makes the first of one. First of two. Brian Beiser misses the second one. 20, number 20 gets the rebound. Cape Central throws the ball away as the Blue Jays get the turnover. Blue Jays bring the ball up. Swab coming up the court. Passes it to Ike. Ike puts the ball on the floor, then puts it up for a rebound or for the layup, and makes it a 46-43 game as Cape Central's bringing the ball back down the court. Trying to get away from these Blue Jays, but the Blue Jays keep hanging around there. As Cape Central throws the ball away again. This defense of the Blue Jays just keeping with them. Pass into Visor. Visor passes into Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick going all the way to the hole, misses it. 23 bringing the ball up the court. Might have walked, got away with one, but puts up the layup going coast to coast as Darian Triplett makes this lazy layup. Blue Jays bring the ball up the court with Pruitt. E.K. Davis gets the ball. They call a timeout as Coach Williams wants to talk it over. 4:33 left to go here in the fourth. It's 45-46 Blue Jays. All right, we are back as we come back from timeout. As the Blue Jays get ready to take the ball out. Brian Beiser just holding the ball until they come to guard him. Then he starts to move a little bit. Pass it over to E.K. Davis. Looking to set up this offense. Not in a big hurry to score. Having the lead with 4:18 here to go. That's ball TJ Williams. Kind of shocked him a little bit. Gives him the ball back. Goes to the hoop. Gets fouled. Will shoot 2. Clock stops, 4:08, 45-46. Charleston with the lead.
Foul Tigers, the 20, Roy Robinson, is second. On the line for Charleston, the 15, TJ Williams.
Williams making the first of his 2 free throws, makes it 47-45. Williams missed the second one, so he jumped in there a little early, so it's automatic turnover to the Cape Central Tigers. As Darian Triplett brings the ball up the court for the Tigers. Triplett passes the corner to 12. 12 passes into 20, trying to get a shot off, gets it off. That's going to be Hayden Kimball, freshman. He will shoot 2. Try to tie this game up. Misses the first one, still 45-47 Blue Jays. Makes the second one, brings it in within a point. It is 47-46 Blue Jays. Swat Fitzpatrick was wanting to run full blast at the court and realized, hey, we're winning this game right now. Tries to snake away a little bit of that clock. Trying to look who to pass to. Pass to Brian Visor. Pass to Pubut. Pubut goes up for the layup, and it's good. Making it 49-46. Blue Jays lead with 3:29 left to go in the fourth quarter. Triplett. Oh, lost the ball in a shot. Visor loses the ball to 22. 22 tries to rescue it. That's 22 would be Camille Woodson, but didn't get it back in. Instead, it's out of bounds on Cape as Charleston takes the ball back over. Be a good pickup win for this. JV team has been pretty good this year. I think they've only lost 2 out of probably their 12 games or so. Pass the ball into TJ Williams, gets it to the top to EK. EK looking for Brian, I think. Yeah, gets the ball in the hands of Visor. Visor driving to the hole, gives it to Pubut. Pubut gets the shot off, but gets fouled. And go to the line shooting 2. That's team foul number 11 on the Tigers. It's his 3rd foul for number 20. Third foul for number 20. Camille Woodson, my bad. Makes the first one, it's 46-50. Misses the second one. Blue Jays almost get the rebound. Trying to reach in for the fouls. TJ Williams trying to reach in for the ball, and TJ Williams makes the foul, as that should send them Cape Central back to line shooting 2, as Latrell Scott comes back in for TJ Williams. Just want to say hi to anybody out there watching. If you want to give a comment or anything like that, we'd love to hear from you. Just let us know. As Triplett makes the first of 2 free throws, brings the score 47-50 with 2:58 here to go in the fourth. Nails both of them. Makes it 50-48 with 2:57 here to go. As Visor brings the ball up the court. Pass back to Visor, back to Butt, as in Pubut. Asked Zatyrus what he wanted to be called if we were doing play-by-play, and he said Pubut sounded good to him. So I said, yes, sir. Visor driving to the hoop. Pass it off to Scott. Scott with the jumper, and it's off its mark. Triplet fouled by Fitzpatrick because he'll go to the line shooting 2.
Down Bluejays are coming through. Swan Fitzpatrick is second, team 9th. At the line for practice for 23, Darian Triplet.
That is the 9th team foul for the Blue Jays, and that's 10 team fouls for Cape. There's 19 fouls in the second half. As Triplet makes the first of 2, making the score 49-50. Nails the second one, makes it a tie ball game. Timeout, Cape Central. With 2:17 left to go, it is 50-50 here at Cape Central High School. And we'll take a break. We'll be right back. I want to give a special shout out to the
Lick Lighters of Cape Girardeau. That is mine and my wife, niece, and nephew, as they welcome home their son, Elijah William Licklighter, to the world last Friday. And he got to come home, I think, yesterday with his big sister, Kennedy. And I know she's happy to be home. They're home, and I know Mom and Dad are excited to be home with their new bundle of joy, Elijah William Licklighter. Just want to say hi. We love you guys. Back in action. It's 2:17 left to go here in the fourth quarter. It is all tied up, 50-50, with the Blue Jays bringing the ball down the court. As Cape Central looks to play a little bit tighter D, I think. E.K. Davis with the ball. Visor about loses it. Pass ball inside to Scott. Scott for the jumper and the miss as T.J. Thornton with the rebound. Cape Central's ball. Triplet loses the ball past the Pooh-Bud. Pooh-Bud bringing the ball down the court. Pass it to Davis. Davis with a shot, and it's good. 52-50, Blue Jays with the lead. Triplet with the pass to 20. 20 with the shot and a foul. Jeez, the old and one. It'll be freshman Hayden Kimball going to the line, shooting 1 to bring Cape Central to the lead, 52-52. It's good to see Shannon Ritter here tonight, former Charleston teacher, as Hayden makes the shot, bringing Cape Central back to the lead, 53-52, with 1:20 to go. Charleston's ball. As Visor brings the ball up the court, Blue Jays looking to take back this lead that they've had the most of the fourth quarter. As Cape Central knocks the ball out, it still stays with Charleston with 1:11 here to go, 53-52 in the fourth quarter. Fitzpatrick trying to get the ball in, gets turned over to Thornton. Scott gets the ball off the Thornton's steal. Ball gets stolen from Pooh-Bud. Pooh-Bud lost it. Here comes Cape Central. Oh, he loses it as he trips. They call out of bounds on Cape Central. It will be Blue Jays ball. They are not happy here at Cape about that. They thought that he tripped, but coming from this view that we saw, he looked like he just tripped over his own feet. As the Cape Central Tigers are in pink tonight, I'm guessing it's a pink out game, are not happy with that call. But either way, Blue Jays coming back again, trying to take back the lead with 1 minute to go. It's 53-52. Visor driving to the hoop, gets the step in the shot, and the fadeaway one! Visor going to the line to shoot the one free throw to make it a 2-point game if he makes his free throw. It's 54-53 with 51 seconds left here to go in the fourth. Blue Jays lead by 1. Timeout, Blue Jays, as Coach Williams was talking over. I just want to say hi out there to everybody. We're glad to have you here tonight, as it's the second to last game before we have our home finale and regular season finale Thursday night against the Poplar Bluff Mules. Blue Jays will be taking on the Mules, who beat us by 15 in the C1 Conference tournament earlier on the season. We look forward to everybody coming out. We hope we have a good crowd. We're glad to see everybody here tonight. We have a pretty good Blue Jay contingent here at Cape. Pretty nice gym. It's my first time coming over here. But it's not the best gym. I mean, it's a very nice gym, but it's not the best gym we've been to. But it's a very, very good gym, very big gym. We're glad to be back in Cape. They had a tough loss Friday night against Sykeston, which was a preview pretty much of their district championship game, where they lost by 2 because of free throws in the waning seconds of that game. And we're back to the game as Beiser's shooting free throw of his and one and nails it to take a 2-point lead with 51.6 seconds to go here in the last part of this JV game. As Triplett brings the ball up the court, Beiser is on him tight, not letting him make a pass. Gets a pass down low, but as 25 gets fouled, he'll go to the line shooting 2.
Foul was on Zatyrus Moore. That'll be his third. No, E.K. Davis. That'll be his third. Team foul 10, which doesn't really matter. Team fouls now. It's both teams are in double months. Misses the first one. Still a 2-point game with 42.7 seconds to go. Charleston with the lead. All right, makes the second one. Misses the first one. It's a 1-point game with 41 seconds to go. As they step up their defense. Still getting the ball down to E.K. Davis. Bledsoe with the shot. Oh, it's off the mark. E.K. Davis with the ball. E.K. Davis loses the ball. They call a timeout. Cape Central got lucky and called a timeout while everybody was wrestling for the ball. And they'll end up with the ball with 27.7 seconds to go. It's 55-54. Let me check just to make sure.
Jason, is that our ball or theirs?
And that is Cape Central's ball, as they wrestling around with the ball there for a little while, and they finally got it and called a timeout. Heads up play by Cape Central. We wanted to let you know we're brought to you tonight by the Charleston Athletic Department, by CHS JAG, and by Charleston R1 Schools. Wanted to say hello to everybody out there as Cape Central's bringing the ball down, and they're down by 1 with 27.7 seconds left. Now they have a couple choices here to hold on for the last shot, maybe, or try to score early. Not sure what they're going to do here, as Blue Jays plan on playing that sticky defense that they're known to play. So let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen, as number 22, Camille Woodson brings the ball out, takes the ball out. They're trying to pass it in to him as Brian Beiser is there to guard him all the way up. I'm not going to let him have anything. Beiser's on him real tight. He's driving, passes it back to 25. 22's bringing it in. Woodson, Thornton passes it over to 25, and he's fouled by Beiser with the reach in. Not sure if it was highly advisable, but at the same time, it stops the clock and forces Cape Central to shoot 2. They've not been just lights out on this free throw, but we're going to find out and see what this coach has to say, or what these free throw shots are saying. Makes the first one, makes it a tie ball game with 10.8 seconds to go. If it makes this next one, they'll have the lead with 10 seconds to go in this JV game that has been exciting. Misses the second one. Oh, Cape Central gets the rebound. Foul on the floor on Beiser, I think, again. And that's going to be 2 more free throws no, that was on E.K. Davis. That's his 4th. That's going to be Tigers. Tigers get 2 shots. 8.9 seconds here to go, as Blue Jays couldn't secure a rebound. And this is going to be Hayden Kimball shooting 2. Makes the first one, takes the lead with 8.9 seconds left. Pretty exciting ball game. Kimball with the second shot. Makes this would be a 2-point lead. Misses it. Charleston gets the rebound. They're not stopping. Visor's taking this all the way. Loses the ball. That's almost would have been the ball game, but they fouled him with 1.1 second left as he will go to the line shooting 2. They're up 1, 56-55. If misses this, Blue Jays get the ball. They get 2.8 seconds left. They put 2.8 back on the clock. They give Blue Jays ball time to pass the ball in bounds. See what happens here. If misses the first one, it's going to be a different situation altogether. Makes the first one, makes it a 2-point game. As they call a time, Cape Central calls a timeout, or Charleston did. Charleston calls timeout. No, they don't. They don't call a timeout. He's just going to let them play. I think that's what happened. 57-55, 2.8 seconds left. Woodson shooting the ball. Makes it 3-point ball game. Timeout, Blue Jays. Talk it over. They'll get one more shot at this. Tied up with 2.8 seconds left. Let's see what happens. We'll take a break. It's 2.8 seconds left. 55-58. Cape Central with the lead in this opening game of this doubleheader here tonight, Cape Central. And we're back as the Blue Jays come out of this timeout with one more possession. They're not going to let them roll the ball up the court. Thornton, here's a who, is not going to let them do that. We're going to see what their plan is here. They're going to probably try to pass into EK and get a good shot off. No, Cape Central's calling a timeout. They wanted to see what was going to happen. So, as we'll stay with you. Stay with you here as they go to timeout. As we said, there's 2.8 seconds left, 58-55 with 2.8 seconds left in this JV game. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I know it's a JV game, but at the same time, these boys play hard all season to get these opportunities, and it gives them a sense, it gives them experience being in these situations. Brian Visor being on varsity as well as JV has had this experience before. So it should be interesting to see what happens. If they could get the ball in bounds, maybe call a quick timeout. I don't know if that would help or what, just to bring the ball down half court, but we'll see what happens. As they come out of the timeout. Let's go Blue Jays. Visor's going to be the one bringing the ball out. Got E.K. Davis, Ben Bledsoe, Zataris Moore, and Swab Fitzpatrick. Pass the ball in. Let's see what happens. Visor looking to get the ball in. Passes it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick with the ball. Gets the shot up, and good heat there at the end. As Cape Central wins the JV game 58-55 on a very contested, highly fouled JV game. There was 20 fouls in that second half. A little much on the calls, if you ask me, but that's just my opinion. I'm just an avid Blue Jay fan. All right, we'll be back as the Jays varsity gets to start here in under about 10 minutes.
Right.
right, we're doing a little pregame before they get the game going here. I'm joined by Mr. Tim Eskew. Can you hear me, Mr. Eskew?
Hello?
All right, he's
Oh,
here.
yeah,
He's
I do.
here. He's here. What do you think? You think it's a pink out game tonight, Mr. Eskew?
It looks like it could be a pink out game in the student section.
I think they're. Some of them are in their pajamas. I'm not sure if they know how to dress properly up here at Cape Central, but they might know how. I'm just being a little funny.
You are being funny.
Not very, maybe. All right, so Cape Central about to come out. What do you think our chances are tonight, Mr. Tim?
Well, I think we have an opportunity. I'm not quite sure how critical this game is in our minds or in their minds. I truly believe, Cape Central is their main concern is playing Sykeston in the district championship game. That's probably all they're thinking about. In Charleston, all we're probably thinking about is getting district started. This game is relatively meaningless for both teams, actually. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to result. That could mean Cape Central kind of plays lackadaisical, and maybe we play inspired basketball, can keep it close. Could be a situation like that, or it could be a situation where we're not taking this game as seriously as we should, and Cape Central annihilates us. It could be one of two things.
I can definitely see where that would be the case. As they shut the lights out here, as Cape Central is fixing to come out, we will take just a quick break and let them have their time, and then the Blue Jays will have their time. All right, we're back. With the Blue Jays coming out, we're watching as you watch the Charleston cheerleaders do their entrance cheer they always do for the Blue Jays. As the Cape Central Tigers, they don't wait up, Mr. Eskew here. As your Blue Jays come out, look ready to go, led by P.J. Moore, who's been out for a while. This will be his second or third game back now, as he put on a pretty good showing in the last game. We'll get some more thoughts on this game coming up. I kind of agree with you, Tim. I'm not sure if, I think we'll come out and play hard, especially if we're in the game early. But I can see maybe where towards the end where they might get a little lackadaisical if they're not into it as much.
Well, the fact of the matter is, like I mentioned earlier, this game isn't important to either team. I mean, you want to win every game you could possibly win, but at this point in the season, you're thinking about more important things. And I know for a fact that Charleston, they play the season for the postseason. So every game they play is preparation for districts. And Coach Farmer and Coach Williams, that's what they're thinking about. As much as Danny Farmer would love to win this basketball game, it's not on the top of his priority list because districts is what's important to him, and every game they play throughout the regular season is in preparation for that moment. And as I mentioned earlier, Cape got beat by Sykeston in a close game, and that's who they're going to have to get through to win their district. So both teams, I'm sure their effort's going to be high in this contest, but both teams are obviously going to be thinking about the future and next week.
Especially as you just watched Buss and Kimmel just throw it down. I think that with I know with my own personal thoughts, I think with us having districts at home is kind of a cool thing this year. It's because it's the first time in probably 10 years, I think, or so. It's been a while. I want to see how Isaiah Gillespie plays tonight. I want to see how he comes back. He's been sick for a couple weeks now. Missed, I think, 2 or 3 games.
I mean, do you maybe, if this game gets out of hand early, you maybe sit some of these guys in case? Or you think he'll play them? I know Danny has a tendency to play them no matter what. I mean, this is just like a regular game. I mean, like a district game, they want to see how these guys are going to do in 4 quarters.
Isaiah had been playing really well before he missed a few games. he's not a big-time scorer for us, but he does a lot of other things that are important as well. So we'll see. This game and Thursday when we play Poplar Bluff, those are going to be two extremely tough games. We want to go out there and try to win them all, but at this point in the season, you don't want guys to end up getting hurt. So if a game gets carried away one way or the other, that's something you need to think about at some point. You know, you want to compete every single night, every single game, but at this point in the season, you know, you don't want these gentlemen to get hurt. And I hope the officials aren't out here and we don't get a technical foul for dunking in warm-ups.
Is that really a thing? I always heard
it is a thing.
Is it really?
It is a thing, unless it's not a thing anymore. Now the officials have entered the gymnasium, so at this point, if it is a thing, Blessing will stop doing that, because I've coached a game and had a player do it in warm-ups before, and it was a technical foul. So that certainly is a thing. Now in college and in the pros, they don't call that. You can dunk it as much as you want to, but for some reason in high school basketball, as you can see, he just laid it in. You don't want to dunk it in warm-ups because you will get a technical foul. I don't know.
I've never really understood that. I guess they deem it as showing off.
Well, I don't think they want to have a dunk contest going on pregame in high school basketball. There's several things like that they try to prevent.
I completely understand. I'll tell you what, one of these players that kind of surprises me coming off this JV game, and I really like watch playing as of late, is Swab Fitzpatrick. I think with his athleticism, I mean, he's a good pickup off the bench if they needed him. I think he could probably handle the ball a little bit, maybe not be a scoring threat so much on varsity, but I think he's definitely him and E.K. Davis, capable players to be on this varsity squad.
I think Swab's moment in varsity basketball is in the future. I don't think it's going to be at this point. I know he comes in towards the end of games once they're decided. And he can come in there and score a couple points. He's not a bad player. I was actually impressed with how he played in this JV game, as a matter of fact. A lot of JV games I kind of show up late at, so I hadn't got an opportunity to watch him play a whole lot. And I actually thought he played well.
He's a good kid, always smiling, always happy out there if you ever watch him. As him and Brian Beiser, they play, and E.K. Davis, they play hard, that JV game. And then Brian Beiser always plays most of that JV game, and then just enough to where he's not losing what he's supposed to for varsity. But how do you play that intensity of a JV game and then come and play a varsity game? How do you do that?
I think it's easier when you're 17.
Probably, yeah.
Than it would be for me to do that now. But you know, there is a limit, and I know, you know, used to you could play 6 quarters a night, and then I think it might have changed it to 5, or it was 5 and then 6, and now I think it might be 6, and I think there's a limit on quarters you can play per year. There's a lot of limits as far as that goes. So Brian, for example, I think if he played all 4 quarters of that JV game, I don't know if he would be eligible to play all 4 quarters of varsity. So,
well, I think that's why they sit him so much in between both games.
And he might have sat out an entire third quarter. I don't know. I mean, I used to keep track of that when I was coaching, because if you had guys that played both games, you would save them, you know, 3 quarters for varsity. That way they only played a half of the JV game, things like that. So,
okay. Well, just to kind of keep you up with what's going on, there's 9 minutes to go before this game starts as the Blue Jays get ready to go. This is their second to last game of the regular season. They'll play tonight here at Cape Central, this peek-out game, and then we will play Thursday night against Poplar Bluff Mules, who beat us earlier in the season by 12-15. I mean, it wasn't a blowout, but it was a decisive victory, as we couldn't make anything in that game, if I remember correctly. Were you at that game, Mr. Rescue?
I was. Poplar Bluff's pretty good, and that's going to be a tough game too. Once again, that's going to be our last game of the year. We might be inspired because it's senior night. Poplar Bluff may not play very enthusiastic because districts is right around the corner for them as well. So there's a lot of things in the minds of these players and coaches when it comes to the last couple games of the year. Now, if you were trying to win your conference because of your record, then you'd have something to play for. But really, at that point, you know, Thursday night, if I was coaching, and I know how Danny thinks, that game is in preparation for districts. He's not going to.
Oh, yeah.
And most importantly, the worst thing that could possibly happen is your better players get injured Thursday night and all of a sudden can't play in districts at all, because Charleston plays for one thing, and that's championships. You know, they play for districts and every game after that. Every single season, every single regular season game is played in preparation for the postseason. That's what Charleston basketball is, and most schools aren't like that. But when you have a historic program like Charleston that doesn't even hang up district banners, you're playing for things that other schools aren't playing for, and that's just the way it is.
Well, and that's very true. We wouldn't have enough room in our gym for district banners.
No.
At this point.
As a matter of fact, I've read this before. I think Charleston might have the most district championships of any team in Missouri, and I think it's 30-something.
That's pretty awesome.
So obviously, you know, that's a lot of banners. If you're gonna hang one up for every single district championship you have, and that's not. They don't hang up banners for district championships at Charleston, and they do it at most other schools, and I don't blame them at all. But that's not what they do at Charleston. So they play for bigger things.
That's true. I just noticed they got the banner up from last year when we went. I think it said we were 23-7, something like that, as we made it to the championship game last year, and were beat by Hogan Prep by 9, 6, 7, 8, or 9. A bunch of free throws there at the end of the game kind of capped that one off. But they put that record up. We were second place last year, which was, I mean, a great feat in itself, because that was the first time we had been back to state since 2012 when we won the state title and we beat Hogan Prep. But this year it was that year just wasn't our turn. And this team looks to battle back. They are they have one thing in mind. They're looking to March 6th to be getting out of school and head towards Columbia.
Right. Compared to the past few years, this Charleston team is not as good as those other teams. Ironically, they have a shot at making it that far. Once they get there, if they get there, it's going to be extremely difficult. I believe Vashon is a team that will probably be there at that point, and that might be the only time that we would run into them if we actually make it to that point. But, you know, we are the odds-on favorite to win districts.
That's very true.
You know, although we're not quite as good as we've been, we're good enough to win districts and probably should win it if you ask most people, especially considering we're playing at home. As a matter of fact, I believe Cape Central, their district might be in this gym.
It is.
So that's going to give them, I guess, more of an edge playing Sykeston. Because I think when they played Sykeston in the regular season, it was at Sykeston. Sykeston squeaked out a win. Cape Central, and it's true, they're thinking about playing Sykeston again. You know, they got to play this game tonight, another game, but this game, you ask them what's important. This game tonight against Charleston or a district championship game against Sykeston, 100 people out of 100 people would say the district championship game against Sykeston. They want revenge. You know, and if that's what they're thinking about and they overlook us tonight and we play inspired basketball, who knows? We might play really well and knock Cape Central off tonight.
That's very true. And I mean, give me your opinion on this. Let me give you a little bit of scenario. We pull off this win tonight over a team that beat Poplar Bluff handily at the CMO Conference Tournament earlier in the season, has beaten most every other team around here other than us. We pull off this win and pull off a Bluff win. How do you think that helps going into district? I mean, I know it's going to help, like that we've been on a winning streak, but mentality-wise, you go into the Malden game, win the Malden game, what do you do from there? What do you think that next, if we get 3 wins in a row, where do you think we sit mindset-wise?
I think if we win tonight, we win Thursday night, then we've become a whole different basketball team. We'll roll right into districts and nobody would want to play us at all. Right now, most of the teams in the district, you know, the name Charleston on your jersey already kind of gives you an edge. At that point, playing at Charleston is going to give you another edge. But I think most of those teams feel like they can compete with us. But if we go in and beat Cape Central tonight, we beat Poplar Bluff Thursday night, then a lot of those teams in districts were probably beaten before we step foot on the floor, to be honest with you. And I would be so impressed if that were to happen. I really would. Cape Central and Poplar Bluff are 2 good teams. You know, they're bigger schools. They've had good years. And I would be really impressed if we were to actually beat those 2 teams.
Well, and you think that a town with 5,500 people as us coming and beating Cape Central, we go and beat Poplar Bluff if that happens, we're beating 4 and 5A schools.
4A. I think they're both 4A.
They're both Class 4.
Oh, yeah.
Or Poplar Bluff might be Class 5. They've been Class 5 before.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big feat in itself.
Right, and that's the thing. Coach Farmer, one of the things that makes us so good is our schedule is so tough. Some of the weaker teams, supposedly, that we play every year are actually good teams in their own respected conferences. Every single night at somebody. You would think at this point in the year maybe you'd have a cupcake game. And we play some teams that have had down seasons this year recently, and we beat them pretty good. But when one night you're playing Notre Dame, and then the next night you're playing Jackson, and then all of a sudden you're playing Cape Central and Poplar Bluff. I mean, it makes your district look pretty easy, to be honest with you. And then that strength of schedule really helps us prepare for the postseason, and that's the way Danny Farmer likes it. He doesn't. I'll tell you one thing. He's the last person that appreciates us being a high seed and having to play a really low seed in the tournament. He thinks that's a wasted game, and he would much rather play a tough team every single night to get these guys prepared. And I really think that's part of the reason we're so successful in districts.
Well, and I agree. I mean, in most years you're playing Malden, you're not beating them by 50.
No, Malden had a down year. They have a new coach. It's his first year coaching. I'm sure he's done a good job. He's a great guy, and he'll have success in the future. But, when you're a new coach, it's one of two reasons. Either the guy there before you knew they weren't going to be very good and he left, or somebody did a crappy job enough that they wanted that person to leave. So either way, you're taking over a program that generally you're going to struggle that first year. So, yeah, Malden will eventually be good once again. But you're right, Malden is down this year, and there's some other teams that are down that aren't normally down. So that's what kind of makes our district not quite as tough as maybe it had been in the past. And although we're not quite as good as we were last year, we are the odds-on favorite to win our district regardless.
Well, that's true.
And thank you for your commentary, Tim. As we get started here, 35 seconds left right before the game, as we take just a moment to reflect on our nation, and as we listen to the Cape Central Pet Band play our Star Spangled Banner. All right, we'll get this starting lineup for you for the Cape Central Tigers. Well, it'll be the Blue Jays first, as coming off the first is Teridian Bogan. Sam Bledsoe. Looks like it's going to be PJ, Blesson, and Latrell Porter. And we'll try to get these numbers for you and get the names right for the varsity Cape Central Tigers. All right. First up for Chauncey Hughes, number 4 is a 6 foot. Number 5, Tyrus Redden, 11. He's a junior, 5'9". Number 12, Caleb Oswald is a 5'11" senior playing the 3, I guess you'd say. 21, Doriante Tucker. He's 6'3", probably playing the 4, would you assume, Mr. Eskew?
Probably so. You know, I'm not real familiar with Cape Central.
And this is one kid that I've been familiar with, is that 23, Kenyon Hodges. He's been the kid that you've been seeing dunk all over the place when Cape Central comes to town.
Right.
So it should be interesting to see what happens as Cape Central is copying the Sykeston chant of I believe that we will win. It's not a very original chant in itself, but
very inspirational, though.
It is. It does get a bunch of 17-year-olds hyped about a basketball game. As we're set to tip off here in the first quarter of this ball game with Charleston Blue Jays versus the Cape Central Tigers. Blue Jays get the tip. Porter right to the rim. Gets the rebound. Passing around the Bogan.
It looks like Cape Central's in their vintage man-to-man defense.
Pass into Kimball. Kimball gets the ball taken away by Hughes. Or Oswald, my bad. As number 5 brings the ball up the court. Tyrus Redden. What kind of defense are we running?
We're in man-to-man like normal, so this looks like a man-to-man battle at the moment by both teams.
Oswald for 3, nails it off the first possession. They go in a 3. I don't know what full court man, is that what you'd say?
Full court man, and they're going to run and jump out of it and trap. Very similar to what we've done in the past with some other teams.
Tyrus Redden bringing the ball in, gets the shot off, and gets fouled by Porter. First off there. Porter has a tendency to pick up some quick fouls. So Redden goes to the line shooting 2. 3-0 7 minutes ago here in this first quarter.
No, Cape Central's a really good basketball team, so this is going to be extremely tough for us. But we should, our best bet is to keep it close in the first quarter and see how things go. We don't want them to jump out on us.
You think a slower paced game against this Cape Central team kind of slow them down a little bit? We've taken the ball right down to the hoop both times.
That might work, but what I know we won't do is go against how we play, because we play to beat the teams that we're supposed to beat or that we need to beat. We don't play to beat Cape Central, so we're going to play our style no matter what.
I got you.
So we do have an advantage inside, but we're going to have to try to get the basketball in there.
That's true, as Kimball does have about 3 inches on Oswald down low. But Cape's defense is electric. Kimball with the ball, and they call a charge.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad call. He kind of lowered his shoulder and bumped right into him, and that guy had good position and fell down, took a charge just like you're taught to.
It takes a lot to take a charge from a 6'5".
He does. The Blessing has to go over the top or go around, use some quickness. He can't go through.
Yeah, you are correct. They pass the ball up to Hodges. Hodges back to Oswald. Hughes with the ball. Pass it to Oswald. Oswald trying to drive. Gets the ball stripped away by Bledsoe. Bledsoe knocks it off Oswald as Oswald argues with him. P.J. Moore looking to pass the ball in. Gets it tipped back out on Cape Central.
So it looks like it is full court man, and they're denying the entry pass, so we're going to have to screen and get guys open. And it looks like once he puts it on the floor, all of a sudden they're trapping and jumping the passing lanes just like that and get a steal.
Throws it right to Oswald. Oswald couldn't make the shot. Blue Jays get the rebound off the missed shot.
Give it up. Shoot it.
Oh! Bledsoe with the dunk, but Blessing Kimball with the dunk, but Bledsoe had the shot.
He certainly had the layup, and that was probably not the brightest idea that he's had.
But in that, we're down 4-2 with 5:35 here to go. As Hughes driving to the lane.
Yeah, that was a good move.
That was Tucker, my bad.
So now the problem with this, if you clear out, all right, that's not a bad pass to make. So once you get it past their press, you can play against 5-on-5. You don't have to worry about trapping.
That's true. That's true. As P.J. Moore loses the ball, and it's going to stay with Charleston.
Right, it was deflected.
As this Cape Central defense is tough.
Yeah, they're athletic, they're quick, they're active.
All right, Gillespie sees the first time coming in about 3 games. Let's see if he can get the rust off his legs a little bit. He's one of our better defenders. Not afraid to get the ball to the hoop. Just can't really get the shot to fall sometimes. As Oswald brings the ball up the court for the Cape Central Tigers. With 5 minutes to go, 6-2, Central lead.
Cape looks like they're running the set here. The guy slips the screen and gets in layup.
Right over Bledsoe as Gillespie brings the ball up the court. He's not afraid to drive the lane. Pass the ball into Bledsoe. Bledsoe's driving. Was denied. Is looking for the pass.
There's a good call. You know, Blessing has to continue to fight for position down there, but if he wants a lob, he's going to have to post up higher along the lane because there's no room to throw a lob when you're looking for one when you're almost tucked under the basket.
Is that something they don't just do a whole lot in high school?
Well, we run a 4-out, 1 in, and so we're passing, screening away, passing, cutting through, and then Blessing's just kind of following the basketball.
As they get the steal, and Tucker with the shot and makes it 10-2 with 4:19 here to go. They get the ball in. Gillespie with the ball, bringing it up the court, trying to get past Hodges. Redden steals the ball. No, Hughes. Redden with the shot. About get the ball taken away, but it's going to be out of bounds on Cape. No, it's a foul on Cape Central. On number 4, I think that's Hughes, Chauncey Hughes. As the Blue Jays bring the ball back in with 4:06 to go. It's 10-2 here in the first quarter with Isaiah Gillespie.
Isaiah plays hard, not a tremendous ball handler though, so now break their pressure. You can play 5-on-5, you know, man-to-man.
That was not an ideal shot. As T. Bogan goes down, will he contest the layup? No. 12-2 is quickly getting away from the Blue Jays here. As T. Bogan's going back down with the jumper, and it's good. 12-4, 30-34 left here to go in the first. Redden going back for the layup, gets the ball stripped, and it's going back to Charleston. They are getting back, but they seem to be a step or two just not as quick as the Cape Central Tigers.
Our transition defense doesn't look too good at the moment.
Full court pass, and it's picked off. Might have.
That looked like some steps.
Well, a few steps. As Gillespie passed the ball into Bledsoe. Bledsoe needs to take the shot when he's got it. And I don't know what was happening. Looks a little confused.
Now, Sam probably should have just drove hard to the basket. You had Blessing down there around the goal. He could have shot it, missed it. Blessing could have had an opportunity for an offensive rebound stick back.
Let's see what we can get going here right now.
Now, Sam doesn't want to take bad shots, but some of those situations, he does need to be aggressive taking it to the hoop.
As in Gillespie shows pretty much what Bledsoe could have been doing. Just takes it strong to the hold for the bucket. It's 12-6 with 2:52 here to go in the fourth quarter. As
it looks like Central's running another set.
Redden bringing the ball, has the ball right now.
A set to get the ball inside. That was a good play by Isaiah jumping in front of that pass.
Right now, he's not showing a whole lot of rust after missing about a week. Bledsoe with the miss on the 3, and it's a full court, or it's a layup for Hughes. No, wrong. Tucker with the layup makes it 14-6.
So this is going to be a hard trap, and they're going to jump and steal the pass back.
Threw it right away. Oswald for 3, misses it. Bledsoe with the shot, or with the rebound.
This will probably result in a foul.
Nice little, he missed the layup. Uncharacteristic. As Cape Central fans are letting Bledsoe hear it as he missed the left-handed layup.
You know, this is about 5 possessions that Cape Central's running an offensive set.
Now, is that something that Charleston doesn't do necessarily.
No, we don't run very many sets in the half court. Cape Central will dribble the ball down there, slow it down, and run a set on occasion, and they've done that probably 5 times so far.
As Isaiah Gillespie drives to the hoop again and is fouled on the floor. That'll be a foul on number 12, Caleb Osborne. I was wrong, Caleb Oswald. That's his second foul with 1:37 here to go in the first quarter. It is 14-6 as Blue Jays take the ball out under their own basket. As 42, Franklin came into the game. He's a big truck of a man at 6'3" for the Cape Central Tigers. As T. Bogan takes the ball in, misses a shot, but Bledsoe with the rebound, passes it back to Bogan. Bogan inside to.
There's a good pass inside. You get the ball inside, good things are going to happen, and that's been the truth in like every single basketball game since the invention of basketball. Get the ball inside, good things are going to happen.
Exactly, a foul on 42. Looking to pass the ball in, Bogan. Back to Bledsoe.
Now, if we're going to pass and cut through, pass and screen away.
Oh, Bledsoe to the hoop.
There's a good look.
And there you go. 14-8 as Blue Jays cut into the lead with a minute to go here in the first quarter. It is 14-8.
Now, this would be an extremely large stop if we were to get one here.
Oh, lost the ball. They calling a foul on the floor on 14, on Bledsoe? No, on 40, my bad. On Isaiah Gillespie, that's his first. It's team foul number 3 as Chauncey Hughes goes to the line for 2. Makes the first of 2. 54 seconds left to go in this first quarter. It's 15-8. If this Cape Central team,
no, Cape Central's a good basketball team. There's no doubt about it. They're going to be a tough team to beat. Certainly a tough team to beat here. That should be our basketball.
Our ball going back as they have a 7-point lead with 52 seconds here to go. As Gillespie has come in and been a little spark for this team. I think if we get him and Visor in these games, they create a little bit of excitement just because they're just their mentality.
Ball inside, score.
Every time, you are correct. That does work every single time, whether we score or not.
And
15-10.
It also prevents transition baskets for the other team. If we shoot too many threes, it's going to be long rebounds. It's going to be long runouts.
And we've only seen Cape Central shoot 2 3-pointers, and Hodges gets fouled. Not sure who that was on. I think it was on Kimball. Could be wrong.
Cape does want to speed the game up. That's why they're pressing. That's why they're kind of pushing the ball. But they do a good job. Once they realize there's nothing there, they back it out, run a set, and try to get the shot that they want to get. You want to prevent transition. Don't shoot so many threes and get layups. Actually score the basket, and you can prevent those kind of easy buckets on the other end where we're scrambling back trying to prevent layups.
As P.J. Moore comes back in the game for Gillespie as he picks up his second foul. As Hodges makes the second of 2 free throws, makes it a 17-10 game with 20 seconds left as they're trapping. Bogan gets the pass off to Bledsoe. Lays it in. Not afraid. Gets the bucket, brings it back into a 5-point game.
Now this would be a big stop right here if we can stop them before the first quarter ends.
That Redden almost throws the ball away. Hughes misses the 3. All right, that's a good stop for the Blue Jays as they go into the second quarter. Oh! I don't think that counted, but Porter just nailed a 3-quarter court shot. But it's 17-12 here at the end of the second quarter as we watch the Blue Jays cheerleaders perform a cheer for you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to give a shout out to somebody, just leave a comment in the comment section, and we will acknowledge you. We would like to say hi to our fans out there. I know that my niece and nephew are watching in Cape. They live down the road from Notre Dame.
Say hi to the Lick Lighters.
I'd like to point somebody out. Larry Hanner from Dexter, Missouri.
Larry Hanner from Dexter, Missouri.
Graduated from Bloomfield High School in 1997. Thanks for watching, Larry.
We appreciate all the, even though you might not be a Blue Jay fan, we appreciate your watching and listening to our broadcast. This is our second game that we've got to do with our new headsets. And we've been streaming all season, but this is a very cool technology part for the Blue Jay Athletic Department, as we are able to broadcast and live stream these games with the help of Mr. Chris Porter, which we hope he's watching home, and we hope his baby girl's feeling better this evening. As we start the second quarter, Tigers are up 17-12 in this tightly contested game. As Redden brings the ball up for the Cape Central Tigers. Hughes throws the ball away.
It's a good strip. It looks like we stepped out of bounds as we touched it. That's what the official called. That's what the official saw.
Rough call. He's hearing it from the Charleston faithful.
Right, but I think it was the right call. We had the ball and our heel was probably touching the line. The official had the best look at it in the whole gym.
That's very true. That's very true. Hughes passed the ball into Hodges. Tucker. Redden for three, and it's good. Man, tough three-pointer there, as it's 20-12.
That was a big turnaround. We went from having the ball, stepping out of bounds, to then hitting a three.
The big point transition. Oh, golly, here we go. They about throw the ball away, and
that's a really good effort by Porter. Otherwise, that's an easy layup on the other end. I do want to point out someone that is watching, Mackenzie Thompson.
Mackenzie Thompson, former English teacher at Charleston High School.
She's a huge fan of mine. Just want to point that out there.
She is married to our chemistry and physical science teacher and physics teacher and head of our robotics club at Charleston,
yes,
Mr. Josh Thompson. She is also, well, we'll say it here in a minute, Hodges for two. Makes a 10-point game, 22-12 with 6:55 here to go. Blue Jays are down by 5 early in this quarter and just lost it real quick. And that's another turnover by Moore, as Redden makes a layup, make this a 12-point game. Quickly getting away from the Blue Jays. They need to switch back to what they were doing right, but as Redden fouls Bogan on the floor. Mackenzie Thompson, we want to say hi, and I know all those fly girls and fly boys and jet babies out there are thanking you for producing their T-shirts, as she does make T-shirts.
That's a good timeout by Danny Farmer. Things were getting kind of away from us. He's trying to rally the troops and settle guys down.
As we go to this timeout, it's 24-12 with 6:35 to go, as it was a 5-point game with 8 minutes to go here in the second quarter, and a minute and a half later, and it's a 12-point game, as these Cape Central Tigers don't stop.
Another Bogan, I guess. I was requested to say that, so.
Another Bogan.
I don't want to get carried away with requests, but I'd like to throw that out there. Tonight's trivia.
Tonight's trivia being brought to you by Aflac. No, we don't have sponsors.
Tonight's trivia. Who was in both Back to the Future and Titanic?
Ooh, that's a good one. I know the answer just because I have had this question asked to me before.
If you know the answers, tweet us or leave comments in the section, and we'll be sure to point out the fact that you got it correct. What actor was in Back to the Future and Titanic?
We will reveal the answer at halftime of this ballgame. As Delontre Gillespie, I think, could do some damage in this game, as he's got a little bit of size down low. What do you think?
They do, but number 42 is a pretty big kid, too. It probably
true.
outweighs him. Probably not taller, but definitely probably outweighs him. He's tough to push around.
I don't understand. Porter is just so good at splitting that defense.
as he brings it back to a 10-point game, 24-14 with 5:54 here to go in the second quarter of this game.
It's a backdoor cut by number 5.
42 pass to Redden. Redden going up. Gets the block by Moore. Tucker with the ball trying to get it in. Hughes coming back to Tucker. Tucker drives. Passes it to Hodges. Hodges for 3, and it's off the mark. Oh my gosh. Hughes came out of nowhere, about laid it back in. As Cape Central resets their offense. After some air. The Hodges down low. Gets a shot. It was just too much for the Blue Jays. 26-14 as they give a long pass to Lontre. Lontre with the layup makes it back to a 10-point game. You think we're considering this first half a win, we keep it under 10? We keep within 10?
Well, yes, that's definitely where you want to keep it. If we can keep it under 10 going into halftime, we're going to have a good feeling about it. We don't want this game to get 15 plus.
That's one thing about the Blue Jays. They tend to try to wear their opponents down by the fact that they are so in shape. You're not going to –
well, good
defense.
Yeah, we're fortunate they missed that shot. That was a pretty easy layup there. It's not critical that we score here.
It was. I think Moore just seems kind of out of sorts as they do a layup. Hodges with the layup. Or not Hodges. Chauncey Hughes with the layup.
Poor transition defense by the Blue Jays.
3-pointer for T. Bogan. Brings it back into single digits from 28-19, 3:57 here to go in the half.
That's a huge basket. Now we need a huge stop.
This point guard, Redden, for Cape Central is quick. Off his feet and so is their whole team, really.
Now they're running the flex offense for those of you that are familiar with basketball.
I'm about as
now they're confused offensively.
Well, they have their post man up at the top of the key, and I'm not guessing that's his.
Now there is There's confusion right now on offense. So now there's a lot of standing. So hopefully we can take advantage of this unorganization and get a stop.
Right in the face of Demontre Gillespie as Tucker makes a shot, brings it back 30-19 as 11-point lead with 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Porter bringing the ball down. Porter trying to break the defense. Moore shooting a 3, and it's off its mark. As Hodges brings the ball up, he is pretty much their playmaker. Goes up for 17-foot jumper, and it's good. I don't think he's missed tonight, Tim.
No, that's twice he's hit a pull-up jumper, and there's nothing you can do. Like if a high school kid's going to hit a pull-up jumper, you just got to hope he misses. Most kids don't have that shot. He's knocked it down a couple of times.
T. Bogan just scored on a layup as Tucker driving to the lane, trips his feet. They call a foul on the Blue Jays. That's going to be on Javontre Wiley, 43. That's his first foul. That's 15th foul. One thing about this half, they're definitely not calling them many fouls as they did in the JV game. As you're saying, too, that JV and varsity are completely two different levels. As Oswald comes back in the game.
All right, they're going to run a set right here. So let's see what it's probably primarily set to get the ball inside. So a screen and roll on the left side, looking for him, and he comes off and shoots the jumper.
It's a good rebound. They bring Visor in. Usually the spark the Blue Jays need to kind of go on a run here.
And Brian didn't play in the first quarter, so that had to be due to quarter restrictions, trying to save him.
I tell you what, that method of getting the ball down low has worked every time. Some people might not like to admit it, but Tim Eskew knows what he's talking about.
Well, I don't even think I would admit it.
As Kim will come back in the game, as well as Bledsoe.
Let's see.
Hughes, I think Hughes missed the shot and that they called a foul, but that's just my opinion. I'm probably wrong on that one. Probably did get fouled.
It might have been ticky-tack, but, you shouldn't let somebody get that close to the basket. If you don't want to be at the mercy of the officials when checking a shot that close to the goal. Don't let them get that close to the goal. You know, the help should have been outside the lane.
As the Blue Jays 32-23 with a minute 30 to go here in the first half. As Hughes makes the first free throw, it's 33-23. As Kenyon Hodges comes in for Doriante Tucker.
Now, as you mentioned, we're still capable of keeping this under 10 going into halftime. Right now, we are down 10 points. Maybe he can miss his free throw. Maybe we can go down there and get a bucket.
This is an 11-point lead for the Cape Central Tigers as they are trying to not let these Blue Jays get it out across half court. As Visor gets the ball, Bledsoe pass back to Porter. It's three-pointer by Bledsoe off at mark. Seemed like kind of a heave instead of a hoe, if you know what I mean.
Cape Central slowing it down, trying to run some offense.
Telling them to slow it down, too.
That's the thing. Cape, you know, they're a well-coached team. They run a lot of sets, and they'll look to run when they have an opportunity to. This time, their coach is in no hurry. He wants to get the best shot that they can get. There's a pull-up jumper again.
Off the screen. He took two defenders with him on that screen.
That's definitely a tough shot to guard. Like I mentioned before, you can't really guard that in high school.
Bogan loses the ball to Mackins. As Bogan tries to save it again, it's still Cape ball. As we are down 36-23 with 38 seconds to go here in the first half. Hopefully the Blue Jays can put something together to get this back within manageable distance before the halftime bell rings. Because I don't think Cape Central's going to get in a hurry about anything. It doesn't look like the Blue Jays are going to get in a hurry about defending.
Cape Central is going to get the last shot of the half.
As Hughes going for the shot. Oh, misses the dunk and is fouled. Was trying to get this crowd on its feet and didn't have what he needed.
They had Meathel. They spread it out real far. It looked like they were going to wait to get the last shot of the half. He penetrated, found the lane, and tried to throw down the left-handed sledgehammer, but to no avail. But he did get fouled, and sometimes that's better than making the shot, ultimately.
It was almost like Thor stabbing Thanos with the axe in the chest instead of in the arm.
Hey, that's exactly what I wasn't thinking about.
As he makes the first free throw, they go up 14. 37-23 with 20 seconds left. 26 seconds left.
You know, at this point in the half, my goal as Charleston would be to not let them get to 40.
That'd be a good goal here in the last 25 seconds. If
Right.
Charleston can
if we turn the ball over, and they get another bucket, and that's not at all what I'd want to be. This would be a huge basket.
Oh, misses the three-pointer. Gets fouled.
I think we were fouled that time.
Yeah, by Hughes. No, I'm wrong. 21 is Tucker with a foul. I'm so wrong. That was Mankins, number 10, with a foul.
And we're still not in the bonus, are we?
No, not yet. We are at, no, they're only at 6 fouls.
That was 6, right.
We can get a quick pass in, maybe penetrate quickly.
Now, obviously, if we could score on this out-of-bounds play and get a stop, that's the best-case scenario we could possibly have at this point in the ball game.
As of right now, we're down 15 with 13.
Looking for Blessing inside, not really there. We're lucky that didn't get stolen.
Oh, just got stolen by Hodges. Hodges, he's going to slam it home.
No, we call that the worst-case scenario.
That was, as Porter goes for the heave, and Blue Jays going down by 17 at halftime. Just being outgunned here. What do you think? What's your first half analysis, Mr. Eskew?
Well, my analysis is I didn't expect him to dunk it.
Yeah.
But from sitting up here, I'm not quite sure how tall the guy is. But man,
he's
Cape
6'3",
Central.
6'3".
Is he 6'3"?
Yeah, he's not as tall as you think he would be.
No, but they have some good athletic players. I don't really think they have anybody with a lot of size around the basket, but they certainly have some athletic guards, and they're quick and play hard.
Very true. As some thugs come onto the court, it looks like the dance team. I'm just kidding. They are dressed up some like thugs for their dance team performance here at the halftime show for the Cape Central Tigers. As we are down 17 with 9:43 left to go in this halftime period, with it 40-23. We'll take a break and be right back. With your friend, that's fine.
I already did. I took that adventure. I don't like when my adventures.
It's not a sequel. You don't want to go for the sequel.
I don't like when my adventures to keep me out until 10 o'clock.
My wife's gonna be in town. She's going to. It's not her fault. It's not. Come back in 5 minutes.
I told David Stride, I was like, I said, tonight's Charleston movie and fans stop. David's right.
You're good.
I'm going to say a couple of things.
Here, let's go ahead.
Go on.
And we're back. It's 7 minutes ago here in the halftime period. Blue Jay trivia. What was the question again, Mr. SQ?
The question was, what actor was in both Back to the Future and Titanic?
Now, let me know if I'm wrong, but I think this answer is Mr. Billy Zane. Is that correct?
Billy Zane is correct.
All right.
Now let's look at the comments and see how many people got it wrong.
Oh,
According to the tweets I've received, out of the 297 responses, nobody got it right.
Oh, that's a tough one.
So it looks like, Kyle, you are the winner of the McDonald's gift certificate for a free hamburger.
So you people need to start tweeting back and start using Wikipedia a little bit here as you listen to this Charleston broadcast of the Blue Jays taking on the Cape Central Tigers. We are down 17. We're doing a fan spotlight of Mr. Davis Wright, new ag teacher this year for the Charleston Blue Jays.
Some information on Wright. As you mentioned, he does teach VOAG. He lives here in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. He likes to hunt and fish and do a lot of outdoors things in his spare time. His favorite movie is Anchorman 2.
Ron Burgundy.
Which is extremely interesting to me because nobody likes Anchorman 2 except for Davis Wright. So Davis Wright, we're appreciative of you being here at this ball game tonight. He's supporting the Blue Jays by attending.
It's true.
Not watching our feed, but maybe someone can mention this to him or he'll watch it on replay. Davis Wright. And something he did mention to me, he's never been wrong a single day in his life.
He's never been wrong a single day in his life.
Because he's been right. His last name is Wright. And what I've always said is never trust somebody with two first names. Davis Wright is somebody you cannot trust based on my theorem. Anyway,
I understand that theorem very much so. We, as we come back, and I got the privilege of getting to spend tomorrow with Mr. Davis Wright as we take a group of students to the Mingo Job Training Facility over in Plexico. It is a facility that helps kids who need some job training skills after high school and then helps them find a job. And it is completely free of cost to the student if they qualify for that. So, enough about Mr. Davis Wright, our VOAG teacher, and on back to the basketball game. I mean, it's a tall hill to climb coming back 17 down.
but we know we can do it. As you said, though, we are not as concerned about this game as much as we are pretty much Malden. I mean, I talked last week to Coach Williams, and he said really his concern was Malden, and that was a week ago.
There's no doubt about that, Kyle. This game, as I mentioned, is not high on the priority list. There's certain, you have certain things going on in the season. Sometimes it's win as many games as you can. Sometimes your goal is to win 20 games. Sometimes it's to win the conference. You have all these goals, and so a lot of these games are just more significant and meaningful to other teams than they are other teams. And this is one of those vintage situations. Right now you see Danny Farmer and Jamarcus Williams walking back to their bench. They're not sweating this game at all. They want to find a way to win in the second half, but I can guarantee you this game does not mean as much to them as maybe it would to some other people. They're not concerned about Cape. They don't have to beat Cape in districts. No. They don't have to beat Cape in the state finals. They would like to beat Cape tonight, but they're not going to change their philosophy just to beat Cape. They're going to play basketball the way Charleston plays basketball in preparation to beat the teams that they have to beat to win districts and beyond.
Well, and I know that this first game of districts is going to be against Malden. We play at 10. And then the game that we're kind of looking at will be that night against Kennett and East Prairie, because we will take on the winner of either one of those teams. And we've played Kennett before. We had a tight first half, ended up beating them by 20 or so. How interesting would it be to be playing East Prairie in the second round of districts in our home court? Being that I don't even know if that's ever happened before.
I believe we played East Prairie, not on the home floor in districts. I think we played
about
East
3
Prairie.
years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago we played them
City.
in districts, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it'd be an unbelievable matchup, not just from X's and O standpoint. I'm not from Charleston originally. I know, but there's some type of a rivalry between East Prairie and Charleston.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And so for that game to happen would be really meaningful, not only for Charleston, it would be a lot of fun, but for East Prairie, it'd be a monumental matchup for them. We don't even play them in the regular season.
No, they won't touch us.
Right. And, and I don't think we schedule them. I don't think we
No.
have any
I talked to Coach last week, and he said that he would love to schedule that game.
Really?
They just do not want to have anything to do with us.
Okay, I guess that's true then. Meanwhile, Missouri is beating Arkansas 23-12. That's unfortunate. I'm a big Razorback fan, so in between watching this game and giving my nonsensical commentary, I will be watching Arkansas, Missouri on my phone.
As I am a Hog fan too, not as avid one as you are, as you call me a Fairweather Duke fan, as I have been a Fairweather Duke fan for 30 years now. As I do still love Christian Leitner. For all you Kentucky fans out there, you can eat my toe.
Well, there's no such thing as a time limit for fair weather. So now it's 26-12, Missouri. This is really frustrating for me as we're approaching the second half of tonight's matchup. The Charleston Bluejays at Cape Central Tigers.
That's true. On a fun note, well, I think it's kind of a fun note, is that you mentioned Mizzou, is that as Torrance Washington plays for them, or Torrance Watson, and he's averaging about 10 points a game for the Missouri Tigers, and we played against him last year. Now, he did drop 50 on us last year, but that was pretty much all that their team scored on us last year as we beat them in regional skill.
That really was the truth.
Four.
I don't remember the final score of that game, but and this might be an exaggeration, but it really felt like his teammates scored about 10.
That pretty much was it. But we're back to the game as we start this second half with Blue Jays down 40-23 as we start this second half here.
All right, as normal, you want to score this possession and get a stop. That's the perfect scenario. So hopefully that can happen. You don't want to get a miss here or a turnover, and then Cape Central goes down there and gets a dunk or something like that. It's about the worst thing that could happen. So let's see if we can take our time, get the shot we want to get, or maybe get fouled inside or both.
Well, I mean, feed it to Kimball all night. I mean, that's his first miss of the night as we get the rebound.
Now this would be huge.
Bogan for 3 misses. It gets the rebound again, but Redden comes up with it.
All right, if we can't score, then you better get a stop. So that's the only thing we can think about at this moment. Each possession, one play at a time.
Oswald with the ball. Right past the Redden. Looks like the Blue Jays are still doing a man-to-man, if that's correct, Mr. SQ.
You're right, as always.
You can call me Davis. as the Blue Jays get a stop and a block by Latrell Porter as they come back up. Bogan throws up the shot, the floater, and makes it off the backboard as it brings it 40-25 with 6:54 here to go. As I'm missing my other cameraman, Lillian Johnson, so if you're here at home, honey, Daddy misses you and wishes you were here helping out tonight. As well as I missed my son Aiden and my daughter Kylie Ann, but Lily's been the helper all season long here with Blue Jay basketball. But
a lot of sideline screen and rolls. That time it was a pick and pop.
Oh, is that a old-fashioned over-the-back call on Hughes or on Tucker?
It wasn't much of an over-a-back. I think he kind of pulled us on the arm a little bit.
Why do you think it's such a gut-wrenching thing for crowd just to be like, that's a foul, and really it's just, I mean,
it's one of the most annoying. It's one of the most annoying things in my life that I have to deal with.
And a feed inside. That's a 4-0 run. Bring it down to 13 from 17 points down. I know that's not much, but it's a positive note here early on.
Like I mentioned, you want to go one possession at a time. That's all you can think about, no matter what the score is. You score,
definitely.
Get a stop. You score, get a stop. You get fouled, get a stop. You go down there and don't foul.
As Tucker gets the ball from Redden, makes the shot.
And, that's the problem with them scoring is they set up their little full-court pressure, which they've kind of struggled with. Now, this would be a huge
jumper off the mark. A lot of slapping going on as two players end up in the floor as Porter drives and gets the layup. 42-29 with 5:30 here to go in the third quarter. Blue Jay faithful watching on as Redden drives to the hoop, walks.
They're going to call a block.
Call a blocking foul as Bogan comes up hobbling just a little bit. See what coach does here. He's going to keep him in the game.
Mr. Bogan not playing with his headwear tonight.
No, he's not. And maybe it's something he's just wanting to save for home or save for districts, not sure. But he's still in the game. He's kind of limping there a little bit. As Oswald gets the ball, trying to pass it in. Redden directing the offense. Tucker with the ball. This Cape Central team is not just Kenyon Hodges. As Oswald misses the ball, misses the three-pointer. Visor bringing the ball up the court. Foul it as Redden fouls him. As they pick up their second foul quick here in the start of the second half. Isaiah Gillespie coming in for Bogan as Bogan takes the seat.
Is Oswald his first name or last name? Last name?
Last name.
Okay,
I just like saying Oswald a lot better than Caleb.
Right, well, I thought his last name was Cobblepot.
Well, we're lucky enough we don't have the Penguin out here from DC's Batman.
That is unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. As Blue Jays get the ball, they're going to be pressed. It's 42-29. As Kimball is trying not to get too physical with Oswald down low. Gets the ball. Visor with the shot. Oh, he misses a shot. Gillespie with the putback, and it's good. 42-31, trims us down to 11-point lead.
Yeah,
as the Blue Jays are doing what they need to do to get back in this game.
Well, we've started off this second half about as good as we could possibly hope for, as a matter of fact. So now it looks like Cape Central's back in their flex offense, so you have to stop the flex cut.
How do you drive like that in between three players? Hughes drives within three players just to the hoop.
Well, that's losing defense is what you call that. Like, you're not going to have any opportunity coming back if you're going to allow those types of shots. Now, if we can get a stop and go down here and get fouled over and over again, then you can, make something happen and cut the lead. We can't come down there and play that kind of defense.
That's true. That's true. As Gillespie drives to the hoop and gets fouled, he will shoot two. Not known for his shooting ability, but maybe he could knock at least one or two of these. Anytime you can get a point with that clock stopped, it's also a win. Would you say so?
I would say so. And I'd also like to recognize Larry Hanner again for sending us Cobblepot as a message. So
he sent us Cobblepot. I see that.
So he's obviously listening very closely to our analysis.
Isaiah Gillespie misses both free throws, but it's off the foot of Hodges, and it will be the Blue Jays ball. That's one thing they've done like 4 or 5 times tonight. When that ball comes off that rebound for the free throw, they are going after it. Porter passed the ball in to Visor. Visor back to Bledsoe. looking to get a setup shot here. Three-pointer from Porter at the miss.
Oh.
And it's in with the putback from Kimball. It might have got even tipped in by Cape Central. Either way, we'll take what we get. It's 44-33 with 4:02 left here to go in the third quarter. As Hodges being guarded by Kimball.
You know, the flex offense again, so you're going to see guys flashing to the block on ball side.
Oh, a hurtful three-pointer from Oswald Cobblepot. We'll just call him Cobblepot the rest of the game. As Charleston brings the ball back up the court, looking for the shot. Visor driving to the lane, puts the ball up, misses it, didn't get the shot off, gets it blocked, back out to Porter. Porter driving to the hoop.
That was a bump.
Gets fouled.
On the floor.
Hey, a foul's a foul. It works if we get closer to the double, we get closer to the bonus. We're 2 fouls away from the bonus. I'm just a big fan of drive, get fouled. Drive, get fouled. Why would you do anything different if it's working?
One of the most important things you could do in basketball is get fouled.
And it was a steal. Hodges coming down. Last time he thundered home a dunk. And there's Hughes with the miss and foul on, I'll let you know, on 14. That's going to be Bledsoe's second foul. That's going to be team foul number 2 for the Blue Jays, which is not too bad. 47-33, down 14 here to go in the third, with 3:18 here to go.
As we've seen these 2 fouls, like I was just mentioning, you know, one of the best things you can do in a basketball game is get somebody to foul you, and you'll never know how it impacts the game until the game's over with.
That's very true.
You know, like right now, they have 5 team fouls, you know, a couple more fouls, and all of a sudden we're shooting free throws, even if they foul us, you know, 70 feet from our basket.
That's very true.
Also, you never know. You get somebody to foul you, one of the other team's best player, all of a sudden he's on the bench with foul trouble. And you never know how that's going to impact the game until the game is over.
That's very true.
If you can't do anything on the basketball court but can get to the basket and make somebody foul you, you know, it's an extremely important thing. You know, James Harden's an expert at that at the NBA level. Of course, with 6 fouls to play with and stuff like that, it's a little bit different, but it's still a crucial part of the game.
As we come back down, Hughes makes both of his free throws. It's a 16-point lead with 3:10 to go. Let me know what you think about this. Gillespie goes up for the shot and misses it as Tucker gets the rebound and being chased by Gillespie. Do you think this is the time we've seen a lot more subs kind of coming in with Kimball not playing the whole game like he usually does? He's only got a couple fouls. Do you think it's a good idea to maybe get Gillespie in here more and get some of these bench players a little bit more playing time right before you go into district? Especially players we maybe missed some time.
I think it's important, but Danny's not afraid to make subs. I mean, you'll see it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You'll see a guy not play much all game, and in a critical situation, all of a sudden he's inserted. I mean, Javontre Wiley hasn't played much, and all of a sudden he's in the ball game.
That's very true.
And this game is not out of hand by any stretch of the imagination.
That's very true.
So
as
Danny
Porter goes in, 49-35 with 2:21 left to go.
You got to give Danny credit. He'll put guys in. He has faith in his players.
That's good. That's good. As we've mentioned before, that these Charleston boys, they don't give up. I mean, they will play until you tell them to stop. I mean, they play from whistle to whistle most of the time.
So a lot of spreading of the floor. It looks like 5-out offense here. No post players.
You think they're just trying to kill the clock or just?
No, they're trying to create gaps for penetration. You know, with 5 out, the gaps aren't going to be huge, but you are spreading the floor. And so if you can get past that guy and split the other defender, you're going to have a lane to the basket.
That's true. That's very true. As Hughes falls down again, has a hard time getting up. You know, that was a hard-fought game against Sykeston the other night. I don't see too many teams beating them right now as they play so well together. But as Hughes gets back up to shoot 2, it's 49-35 with a minute 52 here to go.
So you want to think, if Cape Central and Sykeston meet up for the finals of that district, it's going to be rocking and rolling in here.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt about it. And if you're out there listening and you want to go to a ball game, if that ball game happens to actually occur, that would be, and you like high school basketball, that would be the game to watch in this gym. But you'd have to get here early, that's for sure.
That's very true. As they were turning people away at Sykeston, and Sykeston has a sizably big gym.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a tough, but it's just one of those games. There's a handful of basketball games in the area at the high school level that are all pretty much must see or must attend, and that would certainly be one of them.
As
I say that, I probably won't go. But if I did go, or if I was going to choose, that's certainly a game I'd like to go to.
As Bogan misses a three, Visor gets a rebound. Back to Porter. Porter driving the lane and makes the layup, bringing it 51-37 with a 14-point lead with a minute and a half to go here in the third.
As we talked about in the second quarter, you want to be under 10 going into halftime. We didn't accomplish that, but if we can cut it under 10 going into the fourth quarter, then you're exactly where you want to be at this point.
That's true. I mean, we've seen them come back before.
One of the problems is when you're playing Cape Central is they're so deliberate with the basketball when they are told to be, and they'll run a lot of clock offensively. Right now they're really taking their time, and that's a deliberate thing.
Good passes. I don't really know who touched him there, but it might have been a phantom touch.
But but that's a perfect possession when you have a lead. You run
true.
a lot of time off the clock. You don't have to score another point. You can win this basketball game as long as defensively you don't give up very many more. And at the end of that possession, you get fouled.
If anybody'd like to say hello to anybody out there, we are online and live. We are very appreciative to all those who watch our broadcast. As Franklin goes to shoot the second of two free throws and misses it. Still a 51-37 game. Kate, he tried to throw it off Porter's head but missed his head as Hodges helps Porter up. It's going to be Charleston ball with 51 seconds left here to go in the third. And like you said, if we can somehow get 4 points here in this last 51 seconds, that would be a good little turnaround going into the fourth quarter. Javontre Wiley not afraid to shoot the ball when he gets it.
All right, Cape Central looks like they went to a 2-3 zone. So they played a lot of man in the first half. They played a little bit of zone in this second half, trying to mix things up. That was a crucial decision they made last year in the Christmas tournament finals. The decision to play zone against us last year kind of helped them win.
Yeah. Well, in this game right here, we just threw the ball away, and Redden going for the shot. Blue Jays have the man advantage as Bogan's driving to the hoop. About gets the ball stolen, passes it back out to Porter.
We got 10 seconds on the clock.
As Bogan's he's going to take that shot.
5 seconds.
Porter shoots the three. It's off. He's driving down. Tucker puts the ball up.
We don't want to foul.
All right. Well, as the Blue Jays trim that 17-point lead to 14, we're going into this fourth quarter with a 14-point lead. As you said, Tim, these Cape Central Tigers, they are a fast-paced, well-coached defensive team.
They are. They're well coached. They're quick. They try to press you. They try to get you to turn the ball over. They're aggressive when there's an opening. And they're not afraid to slow it down and be deliberate on offense. I mean, those are signs of well-coached basketball team. Meanwhile, Missouri is beating Arkansas 36-24 with 4:17 in the first, for those of you that are interested. And when I say those of you, I mean me.
And just a kind of an update, Chris Hodgkiss over in Sykeston has posted on Twitter that Sykeston is up on New Madrid County Central 43-36 at half. I would have thought that would have been a 30-point game at half, but Sykeston is, New Madrid County Central is only down by 7 at half, but let's see how that second half comes out for the Sykeston Bulldogs.
And New Madrid is our 2 seed in the districts, right?
I would have to recheck.
I think they're 2. I think Twin Rivers is 3. Twin Rivers has a better record. I think Twin Rivers might be 15-7. New Madrid might be slightly over 500. I believe New Madrid beat Twin Rivers in their matchup, and that's why they're seated ahead.
I think so.
But so unless New Madrid had some guys hurt when we played them, or somebody wasn't eligible at the time, it could be a different New Madrid team. Maybe they've added somebody.
It's true. Well, I think somebody said they might have had a player hurt.
Maybe so. It looks like a good set that Cape's running. Now it looks like they're trying to get the ball inside. And this is where we just got to not foul. They're going to clear out for this guy. And once again, Cape Central taking their time running the offense. They're not in a hurry. There's no reason to be in a hurry. They have the lead.
It is 51-37. Cape Central Tigers lead with the pass inside.
Just
a good little cut.
That's just perfect. That's just perfect offense. You know, they ran about 20 seconds off that clock and ended up getting a backdoor layup. And the worst thing Cape Central could possibly do, and the only thing they could do to get us back in the game, is take quick, bad shots on offense, giving us more possessions in order to come back.
As Hodges brings the ball down, gets it stolen, but knocked out of bounds by Bogan, as they are still up by 16 with 7:02 here to go in the fourth quarter. Just want to thank you again for joining us here tonight. I want to thank Mr. Tim Eskew for joining us here as he continues to. I think you're going to join me Thursday for the Poplar Bluff game as well.
Probably so.
Probably so. We will not be doing play-by-play during districts until the championship or semifinal game, and then we will be doing our game and the other games too, if anybody who's in the semifinals and finals. But look for us. We will be streaming the Class 3 District 1 tournament, the entirety of the tournament, over Saturday, Tuesday, and Monday and Tuesday of next week. As Hughes shoots a big three, misses it. Bledsoe gets the rebound. My theory is that you think they need to score quick and often? I mean, what?
Well, we have to score quick.
There's a foul on 42. Foul Kimball. Kimball will shoot two. What do you think?
Well, Cape Central is going to take their time on offense, which means we can't take our time on offense. If we take our time on offense, they take their time on offense, it's going to be a minute every single time. Each team has 2 possessions or 1 possession apiece, and we're just going to run out of time. So we do have to score relatively quickly. Theoretically, you want to speed up Cape Central so they're taking quick bad shots, but the problem is they're not taking quick bad shots.
And as Kimball misses both free throws, it just seems like we can't get anything to fall.
So let's just see how long it takes them on this offensive possession. They crossed half court with 6:10 on the clock. You know, and unless we actually get up there and force them to speed up their offense, they've had the ball for 15 seconds. Now they got the ball inside and got a layup. So they ran offense for 17 seconds and got pretty much a wide open layup.
It's a three-pointer by Bledsoe, and it's good. Brings the score back down to 15, a 15-point lead, 55-40 with 5:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. As Redden goes in and blocked by Bledsoe, they call a foul, and I think he's just so small, he just like got swallowed up by Kimball's size.
I don't think the foul was on Kimball though.
Was it not?
No.
Or was it just maybe out of bounds?
There was a foul.
Yeah, it was.
There was certainly a foul, but it was on number 30.
Brian Visor.
Brian Visor. So Blessing had a clean block. It looks like Brian might have slapped him on the arm as he started to jump to shoot the layup.
That's part of those fouls we don't really see a whole lot of, you know. As what's his name? Let me find it. As Redden makes the first free throw of 2 shots. Sorry. We do appreciate Cape Central having us tonight. As Redden misses the second one, it's 14-point lead. No, 16-point lead, my bad. As Charleston goes a foul.
Number 12 looks like he might have grabbed Blessing by the arm. Blessing fell down.
That puts us in the bonus. As Kimball, this could be a big. You think this needs to be the turnaround spot for the Blue Jays?
Right. Every time we have the ball, we need to score quick or get fouled. And when we do get fouled, we need to actually make the free throw. So anytime we can stop the clock when you're behind, it's a positive thing. Now, we miss the free throw every time, then it's not going to matter.
As Kimball turns the ball over after the missed free throw. Hodges with the ball, pass to Oswald. Oswald wanted to shoot it. Taking their time, not in a big hurry to get rid of the ball. I mean, and not being super contested by these Blue Jays. They're playing defense, but they're not up in their face like they would be, say, if this was in the district championship game, as we talked about earlier. Good backdoor pass. Steps out of bounds, no foul on the floor, maybe. What would you think that was there?
What we call that ticky-tack.
Ticky-tack.
And what the referee saw was a forearm in the back of the offensive player, maybe a slight push. And at this point, I guess he just felt like he should have called that.
That looked like an all-out block by Bledsoe, but
I think the block on Bledsoe was clean. I think there was a foul on someone else.
It was on Kimball. That's going to be Kimball's second foul as Tucker shoots 2 for the Cape Central Tigers. Tucker, a name that has been synonymous with Blue Jay basketball for almost 10 years. This is the first year there hasn't been a Tucker on this team in a long time, as we had Greg Tucker, who led the Blue Jays to a 2012 state title, and then his little brother Jeremy, who's now playing football at SEMO, who helped lead the Blue Jays to a state championship game, state runner-up last year. As Blue Jays get the rebound, a 17-point lead, 4:33 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Porter for 3, and it's off the mark. Hodges gets the rebound as Peslich Redden brings the ball out the court.
You know, being down 17 right now, and considering we've only scored 40 points, it's going to be really tough for us to score 18 points in the next 4 minutes with Cape Central having possessions of the ball.
Well, and they're not playing just tight defense. I mean,
what you'd want to do is pressure them, speed them up, make them take bad shots. I don't know if they would end up doing that, and I also don't know if that would help. We would probably foul by accident, or maybe our help defense wouldn't be there. We'll see right now. He penetrates. There's good help. Guy's wide open for 3, and he knocks it down.
Oswald nails the 3 and sends these crazy Cape fans into a tizzy as they go up 20, 60-40. As Wiley shoots a 3, misses it. Uh-oh. Here comes Tucker with the layup. Let's go. 22-point lead. 3 minutes here to go in the final period. Bogan with the shot off the mark. Oswald, here we go again. Hodges, let's see what he's going to do here. Tried to alley-oop it.
He threw the lob. The number 4 wasn't prepared, or...
Pass to Bledsoe. Bledsoe with the layup, and it's good. Looks like this game is out of hand as people start filing out of the arena here tonight. As Redden brings the ball up. I assume here in the next few minutes maybe somebody's going to put in some subs as this game is getting out of hand in a hurry. As Cape Central misses the shot. Porter going in. Gillespie misses the layup. Oh my gosh. I have to ask now, SQ, would you take your starters out of this game, being they're up by 20 with 2 minutes to go?
Well,
I mean, there's not really a whole lot of starters to take out, being that most of the team plays. Outside of the 2 kids that are on the bench that haven't seen time tonight.
I think at this point it's just kind of irrelevant. They're going to bring in Isaiah. I'm not quite sure who hasn't played for Cape.
22 and 00. Here comes Mankin back in the game. And Isaiah Gillespie and Preston Moore come back in the game for Bogan and Bledsoe. Don't need to hang their head. I mean, this is a Cape Central team that put up a 30-point lead, I think, on Jackson maybe, in that Christmas tournament championship.
Well, I think Cape might be ranked in the top 5 in Class 4. They might be ranked number 3. I'm not quite sure who their losses are to this year, other than Saxton.
They have 2 more, and I think they're probably from bigger. I don't know if they're from Bluff or where they're from, like you said.
That's a poor block out there.
Charleston with the ball. Moore coming down.
That's a good move by PJ, and it's a good pass.
Oh, Juancho Gillespie needs to get some umph in his step when he makes that shot. He missed the shot, though. Redden gets the rebound. 2:14 here to go. 20-point lead for these Cape Central Tigers.
Okay, we're going to slow it down because there's no reason to score. I mean, that's one thing that people don't think about too much is that Cape Central doesn't have to score anymore to win. High schoolers have a tendency to think about scoring and then force bad shots, take ill-advised shots. Right now, Cape has some unselfish guys out there. Any one of these guys could just drive it to the basket looking to add to their point total.
Very true. As Hughes tries that and is fouled by, I think, Delantre Gillespie or Isaiah Gillespie, one of the Gillespies.
They might call that on Delantre. They did with the push up the body. He probably stepped towards him. He had his arms up. I don't think I would have called that if I was an official at this point in the game.
As Hughes goes to shoot 2.
You know, my dad always told me it's okay to lose the ball game, just don't lose the fight after the ball game.
That's true. As probably back in your day, there was probably a few more fights out in the parking lot than there was.
Well, I don't think my dad was ever in a fight, though. That was just something funny he would say, but he would tell me that. He might have even said, "Don't lose the fight in the parking lot after the ball game."
Yeah, there you go. As Hughes makes 2 free throws, it's a 64-42 lead with 1:30 to go. They have a 22-point lead as Hughes comes out of the game. I'm sure he has a big chunk of points as we're not keeping that stat. Our Cape Central guy decided to quit on us last week, being that he was never hired. As in, Charleston throws the ball away. Redden going down the court, did a layup, and it's good. 66-42 lead. As in, Cape comes to bring in their subs.
No, it looks like
Chris Porter saying hello.
Like 00 is in the game now.
Yeah,
and number 12.
He is. As Moore shoots a 3 and drains it from deep, and a shout out to Mr. Porter. That's Moore for 3.
And that's just not a good call.
No, that was like, why? With 58 seconds left. We do like to say hello to Chris Porter, as he's the one that helped us get this radio broadcasting go. He's apologizing, saying he's sorry to late the game. If you would have been earlier, you would hear us wishing your daughter that she hopes she feels better, or you feel better. I know that one of you was sick.
It says here, according to my sources, Chris was late to the game because he was vacuuming all evening.
Vacuuming. Oh, I see.
Very manly.
As Chris Porter is known as the manliest man in the room usually.
That's because he's in a room full of women.
Oh, and we take tips, and Moore for 3 again, off the mark.
Oh, that's a good heads-up pass to Lantre, not prepared.
Yeah.
Now, if I was the officials, I wouldn't call fouls at this point because everybody in the gym just kind of wants to go home right now.
Yeah, they're in the process of heading that way, as we will be here shortly. Maybe we can get a comment or two from a coach. I don't know if they want to talk to
like
us.
that call. I wouldn't call that. As I once made up in 1994, no harm, no foul. I coined that phrase, and it really does apply right now.
We appreciate your sentiment, Mr. Porter, as joining the best broadcast show in SEMO. As it is brand new in 2019. We want to say hello to everybody out there in YouTube land. And we were very fortunate as 00. Let's give this kid's name. He is getting to play. It's going to be TJ Thornton. No, I don't think it's Thornton. Zach Moore, maybe. No, it is TJ Thornton. It is TJ Thornton. As Preston Moore passes the ball over to Gillespie. Gillespie wanted to drive. Is stolen by Thornton. Thornton is going back and is missed a shot.
Good no call. And, you know, that turnover was a product of poor court spacing. Those two guys were just too close together, easily guarded by one player. As you hear, the Cape Central fans won't be quiet, so we're not going to really pay a lot of attention to them, as we are avid Blue Jay fans, and you don't have to respect
00
getting a lot of dribbles considering he didn't play much.
Yes, he is. He's not wanting to let that ball go. As we finish this game up, we will come back in a few minutes to do a little commentary on the game and coming up as Blue Jays lose 69-45. If you are coming to Charleston and you want a good school to go to Charleston R1 School.
And on your way there, stop in Sykeston for some chili from Wendy's. They have underrated chili.
They do.
And they are not one of our sponsors.
They are not. We're going to hang with you for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll probably call it an evening here from Cape Girardeau, Missouri. As ask you, what do you think about this game? We knew it was kind of going to be one-sided. We just didn't want to really say it out loud. As the Blue Jays played good the first quarter and a half, and then it just kind of seemed like it got away at the start of that second quarter.
You're right, Kyle. Cape Central is a good basketball team, and we would have had to play in a perfect game tonight to beat them. As I mentioned earlier, we you know, this is a Charleston team that's not quite as good as teams have been in the past. They're still a solid team, and in some ways I think we've overachieved. And if we win districts and kind of win some more games, you could even say we overachieved some more, and that's a result of great coaching and kids that are used to winning. But, you know, Cape, this is one of the better Cape Central teams that they've had, and so we would have really had to play well. And we didn't play well enough. Cape Central played just fine, took a lead, took their time offensively, made it pretty much impossible for us to come back, and that's just good basketball by them. I will say this, though. Our coaches aren't sweating this game one bit.
No,
they're going to make some adjustments, discuss it in the locker room. They're going to prepare. They'll prepare for Poplar Bluff, but more importantly, they're going to prepare for districts all week long. I'm telling you, that Poplar Bluff game is important for the senior night. It's important because it's the last game of the year. It's important because it's another basketball game, and we play this game because we like to play basketball. You know, but what we're thinking about is Saturday. Playing Malden, playing the next game.
We just wanted to give that shout out again, is that you are correct. We're playing districts this Saturday in Charleston at 10 a.m. It's Class 3 District 1 as the Charleston Bluejays will take on the Malden Green Wave at the start at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. We look forward to you coming out. Come out senior night on Thursday night. You'll get to see Latrell Porter and Preston Moore's last home game. I'm thinking, is there any other senior on the team? I think those are the two. Delantre, yeah, Delantre Gillespie. I can't believe I forgot Delantre. It will be their last home game.
Javontre Wiley.
He's a senior, Javontre. So it's Delantre Gillespie, Javontre Wiley, Preston Moore, and Latrell Porter. If we're forgetting somebody, my apologies. They will be playing their last regular season home game. They will get another one and hopefully 3 more with districts and can knock out a district championship here this weekend. So for Tim Eskew, I'm Kyle Johnson. We thank you for tonight. We would talk to the coaches, but probably not in the mood to chat with us this evening. But just wanted to say good night, safe travels, and Godspeed. We love you, Jesus.
Like if you really did get shot on the side of the road, I would rather drive. Want me to go with you?
I don't care. No, you make that decision.